Ah, spring. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and the area behind your TV is probably filthy. It's just the right time of year to put our homes in order. So here are some quick tips for sprucing up your home media center. And even if your gadgets are really dirty, we still hope you'll keep up with all the work here on Reviews.org. Hit those subscribe options down below. Follow us around the socials. We've got some great reviews and articles available to help you save some cash on your tech. Okay, I'm really bad about this kind of cleaning. I set up a TV, I throw a console or a PC behind it, and then I try to ignore it until I need to replace something. Of course, dust and cobwebs are gonna build up back there, and that's not really good for electronics or even your health. Plus, it just feels good to clean this stuff out. So, starting with the TV, this is where I think we need to be the most careful. Newer TVs are getting thinner, smarter, more expensive, and more fragile. Unplugging the TV and working with the screen off should help you see any smudges or dust better. Now, a lot of places recommend compressed air, but I'd still be really careful with how close and how direct you force air around your electronics. Your TV is more like a computer these days. If you can, I like using hand pressure air blowers instead of sustained compressed air to break up some of that dust. I would of course highly recommend against using any cleaning solutions like glass cleaners on your TV. The screen is really fragile and those cleaners are abrasive. Instead, after blowing the dust away, very lightly wiping with a microfiber cloth is probably safer. If it's good for a camera lens, it's probably gonna be okay for your TV. Use a light touch because wiping hard on dust can also scratch, smear, or even damage your screen. If you absolutely need to use something wet, I think it's safer to use distilled water to slightly dampen a cloth. You need to be critically careful though to avoid drips or wiping too hard at dust or smudges. Now, the back of your TV should be easier and a bit more resilient. I like using dust-attracting floor wipes around the TV and other components. We don't want to spend all this time cleaning just to kick dust back up in the air with paper towels and then have it settle back down on the screen again. I know it's probably fine to use cleaning solutions on the back of a TV, but again, just play it safe in case something accidentally comes in contact with the screen. Plus, some TVs now require more passive cooling or vents. You really don't want cleaning chemicals dripping into the smart guts of your TV. A lot of this advice runs similar for streaming and gaming hardware. We can use compressed air or a hand blower to knock the dust loose. We can use dry, soft cloths to wipe the exteriors. And harder packed dust, we can break that up with a damp cloth. While it probably won't impact the functionality of a console, harsher cleaning agents run the risk of damaging the finish on your console or PC. Now, these are just regular cotton swabs that you might get from a drugstore. You probably don't want to use these, but there are similar types of swabs that are built for cleaning out more like camera components. If you can get your hands on some of those, they're really handy for digging into the nooks and crannies of a PC and just digging out that dust like tech archaeology. Now, in some extreme cases, you might want to crack open the case on a console if it's been a long time in between cleanings. Dust inside will certainly degrade performance, just like on a traditional desktop PC. If there's any interest in that, we can put together some other guides on best practices for getting into the guts, but I would highly recommend checking out some of the great resources on sites like iFixit before you just go attacking gadgets with screwdrivers. After cleaning out the individual components, we can attack the whole area behind your TV with dust-attracting pads or cloths, and you should be able to capture most of the grime before it's kicked back up into the air. My last recommendation, if you can, try and run an air filter near your TV for a day or two. Even with special cloths and cleaning supplies, you're still likely agitating particles. I'm really sensitive to allergies, so if there's any way to suck some of that material up, I think it helps. It's a little work and it requires some patience, but at the end of this process, you'll have a clean, pretty entertainment solution for your home. Now, while you're working around all that hardware, that's also a great time to look at your cables, clean up the layout, and maybe even get rid of older hardware that you're not using anymore. And of course, we want to hear from you. What are your top tips for cleaning your tech? Drop us some of them tasty comments down below. As always, thanks so much for watching, for sharing these videos, and subscribing to the channel. For Reviews.org, I'm Juan Carlos Bagnell, aka Some Gadget Guy, and I will catch you all on the next video.